Shalom. Shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elders, a great millstone, who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth in the same Spirit, Lord willing as a whole, that y'all continue in sound doctrine and endure and be sincere. And shalom to the Akwaf, the sisters of his faith and his truth. Lord willing, you continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. Lord willing, this is an edifying lesson. And the title of this lesson is, if you don't love the brother that's with you, how are you going to love the one that's invisible? Again, if you don't love the brother that's with you, how you gonna love the one that's invisible? So through the scriptures, it clearly teaches that love is not merely a feeling. It is an action and a commandment that Yahweh requires from Israel. Many claim to love the Most High, whom they cannot see, while simultaneously neglecting and mistreating and envying or hating the brother or sister who stands right in front of them. The Bible teaches that your treatment of your brother is the evidence of your love towards Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Let's get into it. This is 1 John, the 4th chapter, verse 20 and 21. If a man say, I love the Most High, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother, whom he have seen, how can he love the Most High, whom he have not seen? In this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth the Most High, love his brother also. Loving your brother proves your love for Yahweh. Hating your brother proves that your love is fake. It's not genuine. So your brother was made in the image of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Let's go to the classic in Genesis, the 1st chapter, verse 26 to 27. It says, and the Most High said, the Elohim said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creepy thing that creepeth upon the earth. So the Elohim created man in his own image. In the image of the Elohim created he him. Male and female created he them. And it's really talking about the mindset, let alone, we were really made in the attribute of knowing good and evil. But when Adam was, in the earth, he only knew righteousness until the serpent beguiled Eve, and now they know wickedness, right? But we're supposed to be the image of the Elohim, which is the powers, the rulers, the divine ones. And let's actually get that word in the Hebrew. Elohim. And we were supposed to be in the image of rulers, judges, divine ones, angels, and gods, right? So Yahushai dwells in the body, which is the elect of his people. Let's go to Matthew, the 25th chapter, in verse 40. Salaki family. So this is Matthew chapter 25, verse 40. And the king shall answer and say unto them, verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. Now, just because it is that point, let's actually go up so we can get some context. Okay, let's start at verse 34. Matthew 25, verse 34. Then shall the king say unto them on the right hand, Come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was an hungered, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me in. Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and ye visited me. I was in prison, and ye came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee and hungered and fed thee, or thirsty and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger and took thee in, or naked and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick or in prison and came unto thee? And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. So if you're hurting your brother, you're hurting Yahushai. If you honor your brother, you're honoring Yahushai. So if you're feeding Yahushai, if you're feeding your brother, you're feeding Yahushai. If you're giving drink to your brother, you're giving drink to Yahushai. If your brother need clothing, you're giving clothing to Yahushai. You giving your brother a roofing, you giving it unto Yahushai. The same is for you sisters too. So the elect are Yahushai's body, right? Which is the church. 1 Corinthians, the 12th chapter, in verse 27. I said at verse 25. It says that there should be no skimmis in the body, but that the members should have the same care one for another. And whether one member suffer, all the members suffer with it, or one member be honored, all the members rejoice with it. Now ye are the body of Hamashiach, and members in particular. And the Most High have set some in the church, first apostles, secondarily prophets, thirdly teachers, after that miracles and gifts of healing, helps, governments, diversities of tongues. You cannot love the head, which is Yahushai, and hate his body, which is Israel. Now, just saying a sidebar, when brothers is rebuking, starting with the apostles of Great Millstone on down to the other men of Great Millstone and affiliates, we do it in love. Because if you truly love your brother, you're going to warn him. You're going to shake the hand. You're going to rebuke him. You're going to correct him. But ways of showing that you don't like your brother or love your brother or hate your brother is not shaking a hand on them. A lot of y'all get rebuking mixed up, or always trying to do a video or a lesson on when somebody is teaching something falsely, that's a form of hate. That is not a form of hatred. That's actually love. So let's get into understanding brotherly love is fulfilling the law. So let's go to Romans, the 13th chapter, and let's start at verse 8. It says, "Oh, no man anything but to love one another, for he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law. For this, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, thou shalt not covet. And if there be any other commandment, it is briefly comprehended in the same, namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law." And this love is not that warm feeling, I love you within the inside. Love just goes back to an action. This is how we truly show we love somebody, especially if we love Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. 1 John chapter 3, verse 18. "My little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth." The deed is the action. The truth through the Spirit is Yahushai, right? This word is that truth. So Love works no ill to his neighbor, and hatred is murder. It's the opposite. Let's go up to verse 14 and 15. It says, we know that we have passed from death unto life because we love the brethren. He that loveth not his brother abideth in death. Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer. And ye know that no murderer have eternal life abiding in him, remaining in him. So let's see what this word hateth or hate means. G3404.
Strong's G 3404, Messiah.
Assail. The biblical usage for this word hate: pursue with hatred, detest. What is detest? Dislike intensely, right? Hatred, detest, especially to persecute, by extension to love less. Hateful, right? Now, through the spirit, you might hear brothers say, we hate the 2/3. We can't stand the 2/3. That's not brothers that's in the faith. Those are 2/3. But when it comes to walking in this truth, that's different, you know? Because the 2/3 is those that betray Yahweh Shai. And brothers is teaching that all Israel shall be saved through the elect. Because truly, when we really look at the law, we're looking at those that's rehearsing those laws. Those are your brothers. And just to correct my own self, to make sure, we're following sound doctrine, St. Mark chapter 3, verse 35. For whosoever shall do the will of the Most High, the same is my brother and my sister and mother. So this is the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, that we don't hate our brothers that's in this faith, that's sincere. So hating your brother is spiritual murder. But how can somebody be my brother if they're not doing the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai? So that's just, the hit in the coffin. If you're not in this truth, you're a 2/3, or you somebody in the world and you're never coming this truth, you're not doing the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You're not a relative. Okay? So love is the mark of real disciples. Okay? So let's get St. John, the 13th chapter, verse 34 and 35. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if ye have love one another. Okay? So Yahweh Shai said the world will know his followers by their love for one another. This is why every day you want to sharpen your love truly for the elect. Like the elder apostles always say this, the brother Yaramayan and Sam always say, you don't see a lot of brothers speaking about the elect. The elect is those that are truly faithful. Okay? And part of the 1/3, the great multitude, what we see in Revelation 7 and 9, they're believers. Yahweh Shai prayed for them too. St. John 17, verse 20, he says, neither pray I for these alone, which is the disciples, the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, the teachers, but for them also which shall believe on me through their word. Through these teachings, it's other believers that come in this thing and believing in the volume of the book, in the whole doctrine. Those are relatives. We love them. And if you slip up, we're going to shake the hand, because this is what we're supposed to do. Right? We telling the 2/3, they not accepting it. Isaiah 58:1, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins. So we're not sparing Jake. We're crying aloud using our voice. So don't pretend to love Yahweh while mistreating his people, right? Let's read verse 2 all the way to verse 7. It says, "Yet they seek me daily and delight to know my ways. As a nation that did righteousness and forsook not the ordinance of their power, they ask of me the ordinance of justice. They take delight in approaching to the Most High. Wherefore have we fast, say they, and thou seest not? Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge? Behold, in that day of your fast ye find pleasure and exact all your labors. Behold, ye fast for strife and debate, and to smite with the fist of wickedness. Ye shall not fast as ye do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high. Is it such a fast that I have chosen a day for a man to afflict his soul? Is it to bow down his head as a bulrush, and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Wilt thou call this a fast, an acceptable day to Yahweh? Is not this the fast that I have chosen, to loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, that ye break every yoke? Is it not the deal thy bread to hungry, and that thou bring the poor that are cast out of thy house, when thou seest the naked, that thou cover him, and that thou hide not thyself from thy own flesh?" So Israel acted like they sought the Most High, but treated each other wickedly. He rejected them, right? Let me just even get this in the NLT for y'all. Let's make it quick. So I'll start at verse 1 again. Isaiah 58 in verse 1 to 7. It says, shout with the voice of a trumpet blast. Shout aloud. Don't be timid. Tell my people Israel of their sins. Yet they act so pious. They come to the temple every day and seem delighted to learn all about me. They act like a righteous nation that would never abandon the laws of its power. They ask me to take action on their behalf, pretending they want to be near me. We have fasted before you, they say. Why aren't you impressed? We have been very hard on ourselves and you don't even notice it. I will tell you why. I respond. It's because you are fasting to please yourselves. Even while you fast, you keep oppressing your workers. What good is fasting when you keep on fighting and quarreling? This kind of fasting will never get you anywhere with me. You humble yourselves by going through the motions of penance, bowing your heads like reeds bending in the wind. You dress in burlap and cover yourselves with ashes. Is this what you call fasting? Do you really think this will please Yahweh? No, this is the kind of fasting I want. Free those who are wrongly imprisoned. Lighten the burden of those who work for you. Let the oppressed go free and remove the chains that bid people. Share your food with the hungry and give shelter to the homeless. Give clothes to those who need them and do not hide from relatives who need your help. This is the same with what we read in Matthew, the 25th chapter, because these same people that we would help, right, through the Spirit could be part of the hopeful elect. Okay? So don't bear grudges in this thing either. Let's go to Leviticus, the 19th chapter, and let's start at 17. Let me start at 16. Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer, gossiping, running your damn mouth, right, among thy people, neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am Yahweh. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart, in your mind, right? Detest, right? Dislike intensely. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. So we're supposed to be shaking hands on our neighbors, neighboring tribes, our brethren of our tribes, our brethren of this nation. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am Yahweh. And, you should always think of the law, statutes, and commandments. You should always think of Yahweh Shai, eating supper with a brother that's going to deny him and another one that was going to betray him. It still kept us cool. Yahweh Shai does all things through the Rakak Wadash. You have to believe, man. So love your neighbor as yourself. Rebuke him and don't hate him in your heart and your mind. Right? And guess what? I know some of you brothers and sisters that's watching this, you might take a moment and rebuke yourself. Now, say if you see yourself going off and you don't rebuke yourself, but you want to correct somebody else, shame on you. We need to do better. Practice what you preach. Sometimes you got to examine your own damn self. So let's get into examples of righteous love from brothers like David and Jonathan. That is a beautiful example because, the Lord was allowing me to, go back into the first book of Samuel. This is 1 Samuel chapter 18 from verse 1 to 4. You see Jonathan and David. It says, and it came to pass when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul, that the soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul. And Saul took him that day and would let him go no more home to his father's house. Then Jonathan and David made a covenant because he loved him as his own soul. And Jonathan stripped himself of the robe that was upon him and gave it to David, and his garments, even to his sword, and to his bow, and to his girdle. That was real love. So soul knit brotherhood, selfless and loyal. Okay? And even when you understand later on, David and Jonathan make a covenant with each other. So let's get into Moses defending Israel. Let's go to the book of Exodus, the 2nd chapter, verse 11. And it came to pass in those days when Moses was grown, that he went out unto his brethren and looked on their burdens. And he spied an Egyptian smiting a Hebrew, one of his brethren. And he looked this way and that way. And when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. So he cared for his people even before receiving the law. I'm just going to say a sidebar. What brothers is doing on these highways and byways is a form of real deep love. And it's really for the elect. Even though we out here, we doing it in the midst of you 2/3. And you can't even see that love. It's real love to lay yourself down to teach this word, regardless if people hearing or not hearing, and make it a daily thing, right? When you at work, you setting up lessons. You get off of work and you tired and you doing lessons. Before you go to work, you doing lessons, not for your own benefit, but for those that will listen, those that are of the elect. Come on, man. Let's get into Yahweh Shai laying down his life. Right? St. John, the 15th chapter, starting at verse 12. It says, this is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. Greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. And going into these friends, it goes into brother. And the same in Romans, the 12th chapter. The men of the Lord of this temple is supposed to lay they down, right? Like a living vessel, acceptable unto Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And it all points back into the ministry. It says, ye are my friends if ye do whatsoever I command you. So it's a command that we love our brothers. It's a command that we love our neighbors. It's a command that we walk like Yahweh Shai, St. John 2:6. He laid himself down physically. We have to spiritually lay ourselves down, right? Henceforth, I call you not servants, for the servants knoweth not what his Lord doeth. But I have called you friends, For all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you. Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 7:27. That spirit of wisdom will make you a friend and a prophet of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So Yahushai gave us an ultimate example of brotherly love. He laid himself down. He was a ransom for us. Right? So let's get into Paul's compassion for the church. 2 Corinthians, the 12th chapter, verse 15. It says, and I will very gladly spend and be spent for you, though the more I abundantly I love you, the less I be loved. In the NLT, it says, I will gladly spend myself in all I have for you, even though it seemed that the more I love you, the less you love me. Oh my goodness. In the Amplified, but I will very gladly spend my own resources and be utterly spent for your souls. If I love you greatly, am I to be loved less by you? Am I? You should be treating others the same way you want to be treated. Okay? So, signs you don't love your brother. Well, we can look in the scriptures. We already read Leviticus 19:18, holding grudges. Let's go to Proverbs. (10:18), going into gossiping or slandering. Proverbs chapter 10, starting at 17. He is in the way of life that keepeth instruction, but he that refuses reproof erreth. He that hideth hatred with lying lips, and he that uttereth a slander is a fool. So it's some people secretly hiding hatred, right? And it's some men that's uttering slander. And guess what? You niggas are fools. Another one, envy and strife. Let's go to the book of James, the 3rd chapter, verse 14 to 15. It says, but if we have bitter envying and strife in our hearts, glory not and lie not against the truth. This wisdom descended not from above, but is earthly, sensual, devilish. Okay? Let's even get that in the NLT. James chapter 3, verse 14. It says, but if you are bitterly jealous and there is selfish ambition in your heart, don't cover up the truth with boasting and lying. For jealousy and selfishness are not the Most High's kind of wisdom. Such things are earthly and unspiritual and demonic. For wherever there is jealousy and selfish ambition, there you will find disorder and evil of every kind. And we can go to Galatians, the 5th chapter, that emulation, which is jealousy, shall not enter the kingdom of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Another example is not forgiving. Let's go to Matthew, the 6th chapter, verse 14 and 15. For if ye forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if ye forgive not men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. Right? The next point. Salaki. I'm tired. I just got out of work. Salaki family. When you go to 1 John, the 3rd chapter, verse 17. But whosoever have this world's good, and seeth his brother having need, and shut up his bowels of compassion from him, how dwelleth the love of the Most High in him? right? Let's even read this in the NLT. If someone has enough money to live well and sees a brother or sister in need but shows no compassion, how can the Most High love be in that person, right? And this, we can evaluate ourselves. You know, it's a lot of times I'm out and about and somebody can be asking me for money and I'm thinking it's for drugs. Or if I'm Salaki again, I'm going to the liquor store to get some wine or to give me some bumba, and somebody would be right at the liquor store and I'm thinking like, nah, you trying to get liquor. And then turn around, you know, give them $2, $3. They about to go get them some shooters, you know, and I'm not trying to give my money out to feed your, what is it called? Your habit, you know? But at the end of the day, I could still take this verse because there's many times where they might not be a crackhead. It's just I'm always used to being played by somebody. Either they come, hey, yo, man, brother, man, I like how your outfit is, man. You know, back in my day, man, I used to be killing the game. By any chance you got 75 cents? Like, they'll try to trick you with a convo and then ask for money. So, Lord willing, I could do better. We all could do better. So all these reveal you don't love Yahweh Shemashai, no matter what you say. But signs to show that you do love your brother. Ephesians 4, verse 32. And be ye kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as the Most High, for Hamashiach's sake, have forgiven you. And we're filthy rags. We're filthy rags, and Yahweh Shemashai forgave us. He sent his son. He sent his son, man. Yahweh Shemashai smitten his son for us. So now you correct him when he sins. Another form of love. Galatians, the 6th chapter, in verse 1. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual restore such in one in the spirit of meekness, humbleness, and consider thyself, lest thou also be tempted. Okay? So again, if a man be overtaken in a fault, and ye are spiritual, restore such in one in the spirit of meekness, in the spirit of humbleness. Consider thyself, lest thou also be tempted. Yo, those spirits on the left-hand side be waiting for you to fuck up. Okay? Reading verse 2, it says, bear ye one another's burdens, and be so fulfilled, and so fulfill the law of Mashiach. So let's get to this next point. Let's go to Romans, the 12th chapter. In verse 10, be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love, in honor, preferring one another. Let's get more meat off of that bone. In the NLT, love each other with genuine affection. Take delight in honoring each other, right? Oh man, brother, man, I'm thankful that you the leader, man, because I like the way that you move. You put stuff in order. Some brothers gonna be humble, like, man, no, it's not me. It's all Yahweh Shemel Shai. I don't even care for the title. You know what I mean? I done put myself here. Brothers always got like a humble, lay me back to what you saying, you know? So you prefer your brother above yourself. You want to put your brother before yourself. You want to, when you look at exhortations, you're encouraging, right? Oh, man, I ain't about to do nothing until I read a chapter. I ain't about to do nothing until I do a lesson. What spirit is that? You're thinking of the elect, right? To do a video and send it out with no add-on, no gimmicks, and just all teaching. You're doing that for the elect. Okay? Let me get something in Galatians 6. So, Let me see. I think I want to get, wait, I said I was going to get Galatians. I got Galatians 6 and 10, but this is Galatians chapter 6, verse 3. For if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself. Okay? We ain't nothing in this thing without Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. He put you in this thing. Verse 10, as we have therefore opportunity, let us do good unto all men, especially unto them who are of the household of faith. The household of faith is the household of David. Okay, because when you go to 2 Samuel, the 3rd chapter, you got the house of David and the house of Saul. The house of David waxed strong. The house of Saul waxed worse. What house are you? This is the love Yahweh Shai is looking for. Okay? So, heavy warning from Yahweh Shai. We about to get Matthew, the 5th chapter. Let's get verse 23. It says, therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there rememberest that thy brother have aught against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar and go thy way. First, be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift. To be reconciled with your brother, what is it?
Strong's G 1259. Dialasso. Dialasso.
So theolasso, to be reconciled, to change the mind of anyone, to reconcile, to renew friendship with one, right? This is what we doing. We're renewing our friendship in our brothers, man. Salaki. Let's read that again. Verse 23. And there, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there rememberest that thy brother have aught against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar, and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy neighbor, and then come and offer thy gift. So if you have an issue with your brother, Yahushua says, don't even try to offer sacrifice or prayer. Fix the relationship first. This is why we go to Romans, the 12th chapter. Before you try to lay yourself down, this is even for Day of Atonement, reconcile. Romans 12 and 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. Right? Lay yourself down. And this is bigger than us. You're not just only laying yourself down for yourself if you have that talent. Right? We see in 1 Timothy, the 4th chapter, neglect not thy gift. Romans 12 and 1, the NLT. And so, dear brothers and sisters, I plead with you to give your bodies to the Most High because of all he has done for you. Let them be a living and holy sacrifice, the kind he will find acceptable. This is truly the way to worship the Most High. Okay, so this shows how serious the Most High takes brotherhood. Okay, so you cannot love Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, whom you cannot see, if you refuse to love the brother who is standing in front of you. Love towards your brother is proof and evidence in the manifestation of your love towards the visible power and his son. And we want to follow to the best of our ability as much as we can, move off the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and do things that's pleasing unto him. Right? Let me actually get that in the book of Sirach, the 2nd chapter, verse 15. They that fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways. If you love him, you're going to love your neighbor. Because whatever we do unto our brother is like we're doing it to Yahweh Shai. And they that fear Yahweh Shai will seek that which is well pleasing unto him, that they love him shall be filled with the law. And they that fear Yahweh Shai will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight. Come on, man. You want to do things that's pleasing unto Yahweh Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, this is edifying. Again, Salaki, I don't know, work, but this lesson was in my head, man. Literally, if you don't love the brother that's with you, how you gonna love the one that's invisible? Lord willing, this is edifying. Lord willing, this was edifying. With that, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem Shai, Bashem Rakakwadash. Shalom, shalom. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. A mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth in the same Spirit. Shalom to the Akwaf, the sisters that are believers of this truth and this faith. Lord willing that you all continue in sound doctrine. And Lord willing, Yahweh Shai has mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. Shalom, shalom, above all.